Hello everyone, welcome to very first BioBoosters launch webinar for Aloja Hackathon. This is the first launch webinar in our project, and I'm very happy to introduce today with our Latvia challenge. And I'm happy to see that we have managed to reach so many participants. And as I said before, this webinar will be also recorded, and we will share the recording also later, so that those who haven't managed to participate today can also watch this webinar later. And as we have a lot of themes today to discuss, I will introduce you with the plan of today. So after this opening, our project partner, Young University of Applied Sciences, Anna, will introduce you with the hackathon model, how our BioBoosters hackathon model works. And then we are very happy that Anna Hintika has managed to join and also briefly explain about warehouse management, logistic questions. And after that, in few words, I will also explain how such kind of process digitalization solutions can be supported in Latvia. And then we will come to the main part of today. Manager of Aloja Starkelsen, Jānis Garančs, will introduce you with the Aloja Hackathon Challenge. And this is part where all participants can ask their questions about the challenge. And yes, if some questions won't be answered directly during this webinar, we will also prepare the answers later and send in email. But yes, thank you for joining today. Few words about the technical things which we should all follow, so our webinar is smoothly. Please check always when you ask the question if your microphone is muted. After the question, if you mute your microphone, because if you forget that, it might be difficult for others to follow the webinar. Also, it would be good if you rename your participant name. There's instruction how you can do that. Please name also your organization, so that it is easier for us also to follow who is asking questions, and maybe later to contact if it's necessary. You can also use chat function for asking questions or other possibilities. You can raise your hand under reactions. Yes, this is briefly about how to use Zoom for this webinar. Regarding BioBoosters project, Aloja Hackathon, a pilot hackathon, is not the only one who are piloting this autumn hackathons. You can follow us in LinkedIn, and there are also other hackathons which you are very welcome to check if you are interested to take part in. More details you can find in our websites, or just write us, and we will try to help you to understand where to participate, where to register. And yes, we have Holman Hackathon Challenge, and the hackathon will be held in 7th and 8th of December. Then we have Valio Hackathon Challenge, where the hackathon will be held during 27th and 29th of November. Sustainable packaging for sustainable wood hackathon, where the hackathon dates will be 11th and 12th of December, and our Aloja Starkelsen hackathon will be held in 13th November and 1st of December. You can also see the deadlines for registration. After the registration will be closed, we will select the teams who will take part in actual kickoff and hackathon itself. This is shortly about the main deadlines. We will go in details in the next presentations, and I would like to give floor to my colleague from Jānis University of Applied Sciences, Anna. I will now stop share my slides, and you're welcome to explain shortly about our BioBoosters hackathon model, which we are now piloting.
Yes, thank you, Laima. I try to keep it short so we can hear from the main speakers of today. But let's see, can you see my slides now?
Yes, everything is fine.
Yes, so I'm here to give a framework for announcement of this innovation challenge here today. I will talk a little bit very shortly about the project that makes everything possible, and then also about the hackathon model, which we have developed here in Jānis University of Applied Sciences. So BioBoosters boosting circular transition started this year, and we took our time in the spring to prepare for this launching cooperation, and now we are starting the pilots as Laima mentioned. So all together in this project we will run 18 business-driven hackathons, and we will be able to find up to 70 solutions to these challenges, and the challenges are always related to circular economy transition, and the challenges are coming from bioeconomy sector companies and bioeconomy value chains across the Baltic Sea region. So with these hackathons, we not only identify these solutions, but we hope to launch up to 20 cooperations between the companies, these challenge provider companies and solution provider companies, and cooperations also connecting different research, development and innovation organizations with these companies or with each other in connection to these hackathons. And overall, these hackathons will connect up to 500 or more likely more than 500 specialists in different fields of circular economy and bioeconomy across the Baltic Sea region. So busy years ahead of us, and the theme is presented here. So we have 9 partners, and all of us will be hackathon organizers. So every one of the partners will organize 2 hackathons together with challenge provider companies from their networks, and we will gain experiences on how to organize effective business-driven hackathons, and also how to work together in this network on organizing and helping each other. So we are doing cooperation in active scouting of solution providers, in marketing these hackathons, and also in providing expertise to each other's hackathons. So we have different smart specialization areas in each of our regions, and we are able to help each other out with the competencies of each of our regions and with cross-sectoral know-how to respond to these challenges from the companies. But this is the main picture that we are dealing with throughout the project and our cooperation activities. So this is the hackathon service path and the hackathon model that we are piloting in these 18 cases. And first we will run 9 hackathons. We'll come back to evaluate and then make maybe some small revisions for the next round. But I would imagine this picture will stay quite the same throughout. So the process is tested and developed with 15 companies so far in YAMK University of Applied Sciences, and we are quite confident with the effectiveness. But of course, there is still things to learn and things to refine, and different challenges give us different lessons in the end. But to go to the details of what happens in this hackathon service and in the hackathon process, we start with defining the needs of a challenge provider company. And we will define what is their challenge and what kind of cooperation they are looking for, what they might be able to offer for a potential partner, solution provider company, or research institute, or startup, a different innovator actor. So we formulate this challenge. We plan the steps of the process. We set the timelines. We look at what expertise we need to connect with this process, and what can we do to help in solving the challenge that is presented. When this is ready, we can launch this call for solutions, and this is what we do here today with this launch webinar. So at this point, we are ready to present and publish what is it that the challenge provider needs, what are they looking for, how do they evaluate different proposals they get, and what do they offer for a potential solution provider. And now we start marketing and active scouting with all of the networks available in this international partnership, and also in different connected networks and nationally, internationally, EU-wide, locally, regionally, in all levels. We will set out to search for potential solution providers. And now we will run this open call, which anybody can take part in with their idea and their proposal. Usually about 4 weeks, we have this time where we have the open call and the marketing activities. Then when the call closes, the challenge provider will get a list of these potential ideas and candidate teams, and they can select which are the ones that they hope to hear more about and learn more about, and start a discussion with, to see if there is a potential cooperation in the end of this process. These teams, usually about 4 or 5 of them, are invited to a kickoff event, and there this phase can be online, hybrid, or physical event, but in this international setting, we would prefer to have the kickoff mainly online. And here, this is an opportunity for the teams to give their sort of first proposal presentation for this challenge provider company. They can get their feedback about what they might want to develop further and what questions are arising and so forth. The feedback is given from the challenge provider and also from some expert mentors. The second important point of the kickoff meeting is that the challenge provider company is able to tell more about their challenge. So maybe they don't want to say everything in public, but now we are under a closed event with non-disclosure agreements in place, and we are able to more freely talk about the challenge and also maybe give out some relevant data for these teams that are within the hackathon process. After the kickoff, we enter a few weeks of development phase where we can apply all the feedback and data given. And we come to the hackathon day where we hope to see each other on site and have a physical event and a networking opportunity for the teams, for the mentors connected, and of course the challenge provider. And within the hackathon day or days, we have mentoring for the teams to help formulate their pitch. So this presentation they are giving in the end of the hackathon and which they are then evaluated on. So mentors will include challenge provider representatives and experts of the field, and they will give guidance on what to do to refine this proposal and the presentation to the challenge provider. And at the end of this hackathon, we will hear these presentations, and the jury made of the challenge provider representatives mostly is then going to decide on winners or different honorary mentions and so forth. So we many times do get a lot of winners instead of one, because good ideas come up and they are not always sort of limiting each other out, but depending on the case. So from there, from the end of the hackathon, the cooperation can start. So this is where the hackathon organizers will drop out or take a backseat, and then the solution provider and the challenge provider will enter into separate agreement about piloting, commercial partnership, or depending on the situation, maybe also possible to start preparing for different projects. So overall, the main part of this takes about 10 weeks with some variation. So the hackathon marketing is open for about 4 weeks, and then from the closing of the call and until the hackathon day, you usually see about other 4 weeks. Yes, and the mentors are mostly involved in the hackathon day, but also partly from the kickoff. And for solution providers, this process starts from the application. So that's what we are encouraging you to do if you are thinking about joining the process. And I'll just briefly recap. So what we offer for a solution provider is really to get a chance to get direct feedback from a potential client, and a chance to establish networks and connections internationally, chance to get some support also for developing your ideas further, and a chance to get some visibility for your team's know-how, and for the winners, the chance to launch. In this case, we mainly focus on commercial partnerships, I guess. Yes, so just one slide left. I will just show which other companies we have worked with before. And really, all of them have found a solution that they wished to start working on further. And we have very good references from the past hackathons, and you are able to explore some of these also on our website if interested. Yes, so I just have the same slides of the hackathons here. So we heard those already from Laima, and please join us in LinkedIn if you want to stay tuned of all the latest hackathon news. I stop here.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Anna, for for explaining our hackathon model. And as the next speaker, I will give floor to senior lecturer Anna Hintika of YAMK University of Applied Sciences with the topic Importance of Sustainable Intralogistics for Production Reliability. So yes, Anna, the floor is yours.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for the introduction and thank you for the first part of the webinar, introduction to the processes, how it all goes. My name is Anna Hintikka, and I'm working as a senior lecturer at YAMK University of Applied Sciences. And as I got this nice chance, of course, I want to first a little bit tell about my organization. I come from the Institute of New Industry, and this is basically the core what we are doing. So how we see it at the moment is that the sustainable future is built with the responsible choices. And this is shown in our three core areas of education, then applied research and development in cooperation with the companies in the area. And our specialty is in the life cycle planning of machinery, systematization of production processes, and definitely new technologies in both manufacturing and supply chain planning and development, as well as low carbon construction. So this shortly for where I'm coming from and what my organization, YAMK University of Applied Sciences, and the Institute of New Industry is about. So today I promised to discuss about the importance of sustainable intralogistics, especially for production reliability. So first of all, what is sustainable intralogistics and why? What is the importance? And also how is it linked to production reliability? And then finally, I will close with proposals on how it could be ensured in the processes. Okay, so first of all, to give you a little bit of context, what is sustainable intralogistics? So sustainability in intralogistics could be seen as a concept of optimizing the movement and storage of materials within the manufacturing and logistics facility in terms of environmental, economic, and social aspects. So basically, what is the core in sustainability overall? And how it could be seen, how I think it should be seen is that sustainability is as good as efficiency in the process. So sustainability as efficiency in intralogistics can help companies to reduce cost, manage risks and environmental impact from the overall processes, and also to achieve competitiveness, innovation, and ultimately customer satisfaction. So this, so that you have a little bit of concept of what it is, so that we can approach it today a little bit more from the productivity or production reliability context. All right, so I was looking into trends in the intralogistics, that what are the biggest drivers of change at the moment in the market. And this is from a big intralogistics player, DHL Global, of their radar of the next 5 to 10 years development, how it looks like. And what we can see is that sustainability, circularity, decarbonization, and these topics is one of the biggest trends at the moment in the market. And that combined with the technological trends, so basically new technologies, they are the two core things that drive the change at the moment. And if we want to look at a little bit more into detail, then what it could mean, what is that that then in practice in the intralogistics side? So basically, what are the things that are being seen to have the most potential to disrupt, or in other words, to create competitive advantage in the intralogistics and production? As you can see, we have robotics and automation being one of the biggest that is being analyzed by the companies in the material handling industry annual report. Then there's predictive and prescriptive analytics. So different kind of proactive measures, prediction and analytics as a second point. Different kind of sensors and automatic identification. And what I want to mention as well is autonomous vehicles and drones. So these core technologies are seen at the moment to be the most or carrying the most potential for disruption and competitive advantages. But then what is the maturity at the moment? And as you can see, we have a McKinsey market report also that has been surveyed thousands of companies and massive amount of data. And what it looks like, that we have 50 different new technologies rising up, but the maturity level at the moment and the adoption in different companies is rather low at the moment. So the speed of innovation in adoption is rather low at the moment. So there's basically, we are all in the same boat being in the starting point. So there's still a lot that could be done in the industry. But then what are the main drivers that anyway support the investments is definitely that companies see that they can gain a lot of resilience and flexibility in the processes. They can be faster in responding to the demand changes, which is very important as we think of the past few years of pandemic and the current war happening and many other things that have been fastly asking for more resilience from the companies at the moment. Then we also see trend of labor shortages. So there's definitely basically a competition of skilled labor in intralogistics, but all in all in manufacturing area. And as I wanted to rise also here to predictive maintenance and importance of the predictive analytics and such. And this is also what is seen in the McKinsey market report of 2022 as well. Okay, so massive potential, many technologies, but what we can see that none of them are widespread in use at the moment. So we are all in the same boat of still doing the change in the industry. So then, what would be the benefits of the sustainability in intralogistics? We can see nice numbers, and again, I'm referring to a market report on this matter, how it has been seen by the companies that have been adopting different kind of digital solutions, systems, and new technology into use. If I'm starting from the forecasting accuracy, it could be improved enormously. There could be machine downtime reduction, labor productivity increase, of course, when we are also taking human-machine cooperation into use. Inventory holding cost reduction, as we can be stronger in the forecasting, we can be stronger in the accuracy, so then we can also reduce the inventory holding costs all in all. And all this will lead, of course, to throughput increase and cost of quality improvement. I wanted to raise 4 major technological or digital solutions that are mainly driving the change. Systems and data, so different kind of systems that support the change, computational power, for example, in forecasting and predicting the processes, then human-machine cooperation, for example, cobots and similar solutions. Then the analytics parts of learning, and then also predicting further with intelligence in the systems. And then also advanced production methods that can lead to resource efficiencies. So all this, what we can achieve is, of course, cost savings, operational cost levels, optimization, competitiveness. We can gain better customer satisfaction and customer market shares and so on. And of course, also meet better the demand changes and higher expectations from the market. But also important to note is that we can also be better compliant with the regulatory requirements that will then help us to avoid any penalties or interruptions into production processes. And then all this being more efficient, being more sustainable, also contributing to the global sustainability targets in a big picture. So for the production reliability, especially through the sustainable intralogistics, what we could see is reduced resource constraints. We can be more efficient, so we will end up in a less reduced or less constrained processes. Cost savings that will generate us better potential for investments into higher reliability. Being more compliant with the regulations, being more resilient, and ultimately also customer and employee satisfaction that will support sustained business operations and development in that. So I wanted to also give you a little bit of a timeline or like categories in which areas the sustainability could be targeted or could be achieved in the production. And it is also in a way a timeline that if we start from master data, data gathering and data management, making that more visual, making that more systemized, it would be the starting point. So basically having the master data planned, every part and planning of the everyday in like properly planned. Then we have the material and component allocation in the warehouse and everything related to that. Proper allocations, also which materials needed, what kind of efficient material flow designs we could have, and so on. Then we come to the internal packaging and standardization, that through the standardization and improved packaging, lot sizing, and so on, we can also gain better efficiencies. Then finally, internal feeding cycle and workload. So route optimization inside the factory, work planning, and so on. And then the internal flows and the layout optimization, that, for example, that things are located close to each other, that we don't have big distances, and so on. Optimization also in the material flows. And finally, that the ergonomy, safety, and the visual workplace is in order. What it could mean, for example, having 6S or 5S plus the safety topics in control. All right, so all these things could be done, and some combinations of this, or all together, or step by step, but there's a lot of potential in this development. Then how to ensure it, how to make it happen. To begin or to carry on such a development work, of course, first recommended is that there would be a current state analysis. that, for example, there could be a life cycle assessments done, carbon footprint analysis done, checking on the current KPIs, where the problem lies and what things are actually quite efficiently driven at the moment. And also to understand what is the current environmental impact and the efficiency at the moment. Then setting realistic goals and measurable actions that follow the strategical targets of the company. It can, of course, be done in many ways. It can follow the SMART or objectives and key results. There are many things that could be applied into this section. But I think the most important thing is that the sustainability targets should be seen as overall strategical efficiency targets in the company. Then we come to the choosing the right technologies, and right from the sense that what are the demands at the moment, what are the needs that the technologies should be solving, and what are the target areas that the efficiency want to be gained first, combined with the budget and investment targets that allow these changes. Monitoring the performance as we go is a very important step, and the impact should be monitored regularly, like in any bigger change management process. Finally, evaluation of the process, of what has gone well, what new development areas do we recognize, and the commitment of the stakeholders to the sustainability targets of yourself, so that you have also your stakeholders and partners committed to the same targets. And then finally, we come back to the current state analysis of keeping the continuous development flowing. So to conclude, what we can see is that the sustainability in intralogistics is very essential and key in the maintaining of the production reliability. We can gain a lot of efficiencies in reducing resource constraints. We can see cost efficiency enhancement in the operations. We can be better compliant with, for example, environmental regulations that then allow us less interruptions in the operations. And all in all, the sustainability initiatives, they are improving the company's overall resilience and total quality in that sense. So basically, the companies can better position themselves with the sustainability into long-term success and reliability in their production processes. So what I want to conclude with, that the sustainability should definitely be seen as equal to efficiency. That is how much it is in core of the development in the companies as of today. Okay, thank you. This is what I prepared for today. If you have any questions, I still have a few minutes to answer.
Yes, thank you, Anna, very much for your presentation, and it actually very much emphasizes the importance also of our Aloja Starkelsen hackathon challenge. But yes, if are there any questions so far to Anna from potential solution providers, or maybe from the challenge provider, then this is the moment when you can use which you can use for the questions. But if you don't want to ask question publicly, you can also write in the chat, and we can also answer in the chat option as well. Okay, I don't see any raised hands, so thank you, Anna, very much. If we will have written questions, and actually I will, after this webinar, ask one question myself. But yeah, thank you very much for your presentation and for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, then before we continue with the Aloja Starkelsen challenge, I will very shortly introduce you with possibilities if you will decide to join our hackathon. I will introduce also with the possibilities of support in Latvia, how you can develop such kind of solutions in Latvia later, after the hackathon will end. So yes, also Anna said that it is very important also how to develop these solutions later. So at the moment in Latvia, we have this digitalization support of processes, and we have 2 edits support centers, and specifically also for this challenge, and also what Anna mentioned before, all process digitalization can be supported in Latvia. And just briefly, what kind of processes can be supported here? These are administration, sales processes, but in this case, we basically speak about resource management. Yes, if Aloja will decide to work with one of the solutions later, there is potential also to attract support for that. And of course, there are eligible costs and not eligible costs as well, but basically this is just summary of what can be supported and what can't be supported, and just for you to know that it is possible. Also, this slide is in Latvian. I'm sorry for that, but as the program is still new, we don't have a whole documentation in English. But basically, if the project is carried out in the region, there is a higher rate of support than in Riga. Of course, the companies have to apply for, there is quite a long process, but still you have to fill in a special form to apply for the support, and then there is quite a long process how you can get the support at the end. But the possibility is there, and if you will be interested later, you will contact us, and we will manage and guide you through that. So I won't take too much time for that. I just wanted you to know that there is such kind of options. And yes, we are a bit quicker with the time, so we have come to the main part, and I see already both Jānis. There is Aloja Starkelsen manager Jānis Garančs, and also Jānis Plaumanis, technical director of Aloja Starkelsen. So Jānis, I will give floor to you to explain the challenge, and in a moment I will also share your presentation. Just a second. And
hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our presentations, and we are really honored as Aloja Starkelsen. Actually, first time is participating on national hackathon, so that's why for us that is also quite some challenge to be a challenge provider. But anyway, we are really honored. And here on the first slide, you see our factory. It's located in the north part of Latvia, close to small town of Alojas. And we are already for more than 30 years producing foodstuff products here. And if we could go to next slide. As I told you, let's go to the next. So here is our 4 strategic pillars. And just from the beginning to understand, our company is a solution provider with sustainable food ingredients. So we produce from agricultural raw materials like potatoes and different legumes. We produce ingredients to make more sustainable foodstuff products and provide a complete solution to our partners globally. Most of our raw materials or food raw materials are delivered outside the Baltic states. So we are working really internationally, but sourcing is locally. And thank you also for Anna for making this previous presentation, because it's really very precisely describes what we are looking for, because our company is on a stepwise change. Previously we were known as one of leading organic potato starch producers worldwide, but now we are getting to the next level. So we are increasing our range of products, and also we are on a step growth on a company volumes, and that is the core of all this challenge, because we are still not the big enterprise. We are still not it's not possible to afford ready international big IT solutions. But same time, we are not anymore small local company which can survive without good manufacturing practice IT solutions. So we are in this step change, and that is the main reason why we are looking for some new way on how to develop IT solutions or manufacturing and technical management solutions for a company which is growing from a small one to and entering the big world-class manufacturing world. So other pillars is that we are science-based. I will explain on next slide. And our core value is sustainability. And we are crop agnostic. Okay, let's go to next. We are science. We have a science-based approach. So we are focusing only on facts-based solutions. We are not following any fashions or greenwash. So it's for us, it's very important that it's fact-based solutions, and it's non-stopping development and improvements is even in sustainability. It's always possible to do better. So that's why also in our case we are looking for efficient, economically efficient, but at the same time also from different resources, starting from environmental resources and human resources, more efficient way how to receive goods from a company without putting in so much. Let's go to next. Yep. So crop agnostic means that it's mainly coming from our history, because historically Aloja Starkelsen was known as a potato processing company, and we are like a potato people. And today it's changed. So we are expanding our activities. We besides potatoes and new products from potatoes, we are also starting to process legumes, and quite in a wide range. It's organic and non-organic and different type, like peas and fava beans and grey peas. So it's quite a range of different, and we are not stopping there. So it's a challenge, because we have to be more efficient, but at the same time we have to keep flexibility and to have a flexible solutions, but keeping efficiency. So that is one more. So if, in our challenge. Okay, let's continue. And yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, so the sustainability is our core value in a company. So all our new business model of a company is based on sustainability. And we have chosen the processing, for example, legumes, we are processing in a dry process. So we are receiving dry raw material. We are making whole processing till the final foodstuff raw materials and final solutions. With making a starch concentrates and protein concentrates, we are doing all processing dry, so we are taking away the water element. It means that it is much more challenging to purify nutritional values or increase nutritional values of raw materials without water. But on the other side, we are several times reducing natural resource usage like water consumption, wastewater production, energy for the drying, and so on. So, says on a core process of a company, we are already choosing a process which is much more sustainable. And then, of course, on all around our servicing processes, it's the same principle, and that we will speak on our challenge. Yep, let's continue. To sum up about the company, so we are producing human nutrition products and animal nutrition products based on potato starch, protein concentrates, starch concentrates. We have already a range of ready ingredient solutions, for example, for vegan ice cream production or plant-based cheese production. So there's quite a range of different solutions where you could make a meat replacement or egg replacement. That is in our food side. And besides that, we have also a range of solutions or products for pet food and animal feed. Okay, and then let's take a look on our challenge. If you take a first look, it doesn't seem any specific challenge because CMMS systems is already developed a lot, and there's different solutions ready, so we could just adopt some of the existing ones. But to understand, in our case, we have in a small scale of factory, we still have 16 different production lines, and we are growing from a small local size company to international world-class processing site. And in this step change, we are not able to economically, it's not possible to use some already well-known global IT solutions for our size of company. But at the same time, we have also those needs to develop predictive and preventive maintenance, and to reduce wastes in raw materials and energy and time for production stoppage, unpredicted production stoppages, and so on. So there's still same needs as international global players, also in a mid-sized company. So that is a challenge, how to upgrade or scale up the processes in or side processes besides the main production lines, the servicing processes in our middle size or growing company. So that's why we are looking for a warehouse system, but here it's a system for spare parts and tools on a production site. So we are not looking for a warehouse system for raw materials or ready products. So the focus is on servicing production lines. and same time it's a production equipment or production line maintenance and repair plan. It means to implement predictive and preventive maintenance systems. And by that also, if you have these predictive systems, and we are also outsourcing maintenance processes, so by that we can make all this process much more sustainable, because we are reducing we can reduce call-offs for outsourced companies, so that they can so we can more put in one time frame and predict the maintenance jobs, because we are located in a countryside. So we are not located too big in some well-developed industrial areas. So the servicing companies should come to us in average 50 to 150 kilometers. So that's why also, if we could put together several jobs at same, so to make a more precise planning, so we could reduce traveling resources and traveling times. And of course, the process should be linked with the production plan. So we are at the same time we are also implementing some IT solutions for production planning and efficiencies in basic lines. But so it's the new system of technical support system should or maintenance support system should be in a line with our bookkeeping and production planning and warehousing system, so that there will be collaboration with of course also other departments. Let's go to next. Yep. So here is more in a little bit in detail to what we are really looking for. So it's scheduled maintenance of equipment. It's important that you can improve only what you are measuring. So that's why also all these maintenance processes should be measured, and we need to have a statistics so that we can know and develop the system. So it should be in dynamic process, so it's possible to continuously to develop it. We have to create a efficient way to keep spare part stock because on one side you have limitations on how big resources could be frozen in spare parts, but on the other side the production process should run smoothly and without long stoppages. About the categorizing the tasks and creating a priorities, that is also a question not only for our internal maintenance resource, but also for external ordering of maintenance works from external service providers, and making easy and clearly understandable the task flow, so that mechanics or workers can or operators on the lines can easy and online could receive the tasks on maintenance systems. Okay, let's go to next. If you speak about the scope, as I already mentioned, we have 16 production lines, but it's not only on a production. So in total, companies like operations territory is roughly 4 hectares. So we have also buildings and infrastructure objects and facilities. Starting with the high voltage intake and deep water valves. For example, we are producing our own water from 275 meters deep valves. So it's and also we have our own wastewater system. So that includes whole the process all around the factory. Yeah. And yeah, the main evaluation criteria is efficiency of the solution. Because as I already mentioned at the beginning, the main challenge here is not to create a big and heavy and expensive solution for doing that, because it's also already existing. What we have to find out how in a more efficient way, mid-size or even globally, we would say if we are a small-size company, still can work on sustainable and world-class manufacturing process to running with realistic and affordable system. And yeah, expected outcome, of course, is the system for more effective and both natural and human and also time resource management. It's our core goal, of course, is to increase competitiveness and value of our company as we are a business oriented site. But at the same time, we are looking for a system which is making the whole process more sustainable. As I already mentioned from very beginning, our core value is sustainability, and our go-to-market is sustainable ingredient solutions. Okay, thank you. I hope it was quite clear, and we are open for any questions.
Yes, thank you, Jānis. I really enjoyed and more in details understood your challenge. And yes, now this is the perfect time for questions from solution providers. And I see that some, yes, there is in the chat also questions. I will read out loud the first one, and then you can answer. So one of the questions is, how many categories of spare parts do you have?
How to categorize the spare parts? It's like I would place it like depending on the lines. If we are having 16 different lines, so basically they will be divided for 16. And of course, just to tell how it is, there is a standard spare parts, but it's bearings, some kind of seals and other things, what is like standardized. And if we know, if we are registering, we are now having the CMMS system. If we are registering some kind of equipment, we already say to the system that there is so much these kind of parts necessary. So our task is get everything together in a structured way. So we know how much to order and where to order right away.
So it is to understand, we don't, we have a standard spare parts, and we have a line-specific spare parts. We do not categorize them in more details. Then we have a spare parts which is on a quick availability. So those we are not keeping in our stock, but we know where they are available on a short time if we suddenly need it. And then of course we have spare parts which are not available in a short time, and then those we are keeping in stock. We have already a CMMS system which could be improved, but the main challenge actually is on a communication, on a planning, and on reporting and statistics, so that we can measure the processes, so that because without the measurement it's not possible to improve them.
And also what would be important to add the price indications like if you would like to add the contractor list, external workforce, or parts, it would be great to collect the data about price indications, because after that we can if we have a maintenance calendar, what no, in a perfect way that it's for next year depends on how we what we say is this year. For us, it's from September to August, one financial year for us. So for a financial year, we know at approximate estimate based on the planned maintenance data that what would be the costs, and to quickly get that kind of data also. No, it's just
Okay.
Yes, okay, thank you. And there was actually another question in day before, which was sent in, is what kind of systems or tools you now use? You already mentioned that there is already CMMS system, but maybe there is something else what you use for this spare part management.
Yeah, no, for the spare part management, we have a CMMS system, but the challenge with existing one, it's like a homemade. It's not it is based on open source, but anyway, it's homemade. And then of course we have our inventory system, like a bookkeeping system, main EPS. It's Horizon, and then we are building up our IT tools based on ClickSense. Reporting systems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, and then there to clarify, just still to this this topic, just one more question was written. So you already have CMMS system and looking for partner to develop existing system, or is there possible to consider totally new CMMS solution?
We are open. We are open for solution also for a totally new one. If more advanced, and if it's because it's always difficult. It's always of course interesting to develop existing renew existing house, but in most cases it's more difficult to renew existing one. It's easier to build a new one. We are always evaluating, because there's if data transformation from existing one to new one is easy enough, then it's no thresholds at all for a new one. But if we have to build again all data system from scratch, yeah, then we will evaluate about efficiency and resource on the new system.
And also to add, there are few pretty great things already in our CMMS system, but it's not complete. And as Jānis told, the problem is that it's one programmer's work, and it's based on one programmer. It's open source, but we cannot afford to have such kind of solution. But if something happens, we stay without our system, and that's what we are willing to change.
Okay, thank you. Then there is another question: how big is your warehouse, square meters?
It's also the thing. We are now rebuilding, like almost rebuilding whole factory. We need to replan how looks our warehouse, where it will be placed. It's also the part of this, because based on the solution what we will get through this hackathon, hopefully we can do it in a suggested practice. So it's open to build new one, because the old one, it's not safe and the space is not enough there.
We basically already decided that we are building a new warehouse for spare parts. So, but we do not have a final decision made. So that's why we are still open there.
So this is a great moment to deal with this question, so that you can make decisions later.
Yeah.
Then the next question: how many people support the maintenance at the moment?
Now in my team there's six people working.
But we are looking for to divide the maintenance tasks also to operators, because we have quite skilled operators on our, especially on automatic lines. So and like a daily maintenance tasks could be should be managed by operators themselves, and then it's like a monthly or annual maintenance tasks should be done by our internal mechanics, engineers, or also external like outsourced maintenance companies.
And we are now in the process of learning that, and that's why we have also how to say there are worldwide practice consulting. There are consulting advisors here, so they are working with more efficient process implementation here. But this efficient process, as Jānis told, is connected with operators also doing maintenance tasks, so we can reduce the man hours. So we are already on the way of that, and so that's why this system, we need this system.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions? I don't see any raised hands, and I don't see new questions in the chat. While we are waiting, I have another question which was sent previously. So how long time does it take at the moment to organize this equipment maintenance processes? Is it possible to say that, do you have some kind of statistics? How long time does it take?
For planning? It's or to make a maintenance, because it
organizing, yeah.
Because we have, of course, we are planning a maintenance. So it means to how much of your time is organization for maintenance?
It's a lot now, because we don't have repeatness. We cannot repeat the tasks in our system. So basically, the line engineers, they place the tasks all the time, again and again. It's also the simple thing to fix, but our CMMS, this calendar setting is not so advanced. So basically, we plan on our previous feelings. We are not generating the data of the previous maintenance tasks. We are just a little bit, but not so efficient. So we can plan how many man hours we need.
And honestly, to say, actually, we don't know how much time it is, because we don't have the statistics accumulated and measured. So that's why we need the new system or improved system, so that we could answer on such a question.
So yes, the main pain at the moment is this prediction part for the future as well.
Yeah, and also a planning tool, so that, and communication tool, so and measurement tool. So that's all is connected, because without that it's
it's time and an economic calculations, basically.
Okay, great, thank you. I don't see any more questions in the chat. Is there anybody who wants to raise the hand, or will write the question in the chat? If not, then it seems that at the moment the question and answer part is finalized, but as you see, after this launch webinar, we will collect all the presentations and webinar recording, and we'll send to all the registered participants, and also you will be able to repeat this recording and watch it again. And just to briefly remind you about the deadlines. So with this launch webinar, we will also open the registration for the potential hackathon teams. The registration will be closed on 9th of November. And after this date, the Aloja will select which teams are selected for the kickoff. And as Anna mentioned, then in we will have agreements with these teams which are selected of non-disclosure agreements, so that also we can go in more details in this kickoff meeting of specific needs of Aloja Starkelsen. But meanwhile, during this registration process, we will share also contacts of us, of organizers team, where you can ask questions how to register, what kind of specific more details you need to know. And also we will get in contact with Aloja if you will have any more specific questions regarding this challenge, so that you can fully understand what is expected and be as prepared as possible for this kickoff event and hackathon. So yes, are there any final comments from Aloja or Anna, what you would like to say now? Jānis, do you want to say something more, or?
Yeah, just to once again invite everybody to participate, and yeah, we are really looking for interesting and sustainable solutions.
Thank you. And Anna, do you have any closing comments, what you want to share?
Just to encourage everybody who is interested to apply. It's a very simple format, and then if you at some point decide maybe this was not for you, you are still able to sort of drop out, but of course respecting the non-disclosure agreement and so forth. But yes, take the opportunity.
Thank you, Anna. And yes, from my side, as I mentioned, shortly after this launch webinar, we are opening the registration. Be active. If you have questions, ask us. We are open always to answer. And let's hope that all together we will find potential solution for Aloja in most efficient way. Thank you for joining today, and let's keep in touch and hopefully see you in kickoff. Thank you and bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.